Hey yo, what's up guys? Norm here and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys 8 top tips to get more high kill gameplays or toward that 20 bomb you always been wanting. And this is basically for basic players. This is tips that basically anybody can use no matter what level you are at the game. It can also help you get better and you can use more advanced tips. But this is basically for, the lower level players of the game, people who play the game casually that actually want to get better. So let's dive right into it. Now, these 8 tips have no order, but coming in at number 1 is understand the circle rotation and how to use it for easy kills. So, when the team is fighting far off in the storm or it's been a lot of fighting going on in the area, they tend to forget or tend not to check where the next ring is. Before they know it, all they're doing is trying to grab what loot they can and just run as fast as they can toward the ring. But if you've been watching the minimap or seen them far off, you can actually beat them to the ring or get close enough to the ring to actually cut them off. And if the storm is on their back, all you're doing is pitching them out. And there's only one or two things they can do. They can either die in the storm or fight you, but at the same time while they fight you, they're taking damage from the storm. So it's an easy kill. Just pinch them out, grab the kills, and go. Now, downside of this is you don't want to position yourself too far away from the ring. You want to stay close to the ring yourself. You don't want to pinch them out and the team come from behind y'all and pinch y'all out. So always just check your surroundings. It's an easy, pretty simple tip. It's teams that rotate late all the time. And the thing is, you don't want to let a team survive that shouldn't survive. If they fall late in the ring and they rotated late and they're all weak, mow them down, get the free easy kills. I promise you, a full team wipe because they're weak off a storm is amazing. It's free 4 kills, your kill count, and it's helping you towards your next highest kill game or whatever goal you're trying to achieve. And another thing is, you don't want a team to come back late in the game that kill you that you should have killed like maybe 10-15 minutes ago, because that sucks too, because you're gonna regret not just pinching them out. I mean, they're vulnerable. Just, kill them, send them to the gulag or send them back to the lobby while you can. Don't give them a chance, because I promise, if that was you and your team rotating late, they would finish you. So now, tip number 2 is basically kind of piggybacking off of number 1. Basically, what you want to do is you want to control high interest in the circle. So the high interest could be a buy station, it could be a loadout, it can even be a vehicle. Now, let me explain. When it comes down to a vehicle, a team might use it as a last resort to get away. And if you've already been watching the vehicle, me myself, I always rig the vehicle with a C4, always. Because a lot of times they'll panic in the car, I'll wait till they all get in and blow the C4, easy squad wipe. That can be easy late game kills. Now for other high interest areas, could be a buy station. When it's getting toward maybe late game, there's only a few buy stations left. A lot of teams, or the remainder of a team, is going to try to get to that buy station as fast as possible so their teammates can get respond. That's why you see a lot of players parachuting late in the game. They're trying to parachute and basically wait on their loadout drop, their last one to drop. So basically, you want to control that buy station, or basically you want to let them buy their teammates back and then kill the one that bought them back, and then you shoot the other ones out the air, because you know where they're falling. They're gonna fall on a loadout drop. So basically the best 2 high interest areas in the last part of the game, or middle to last part of the game, is a loadout drop and buy station. If you control them 2, you can guarantee yourself maybe at least 5 to 6 kills, depending on how hectic that game is. Now that's it. That's pretty much it for number 2. So coming in at number 3, and probably one of the most simplest tips, is placing down random claymores and placing down random proximity mines. Okay, let me explain. Whenever you kill a team and they have all that loot they drop, especially toward the beginning of the game, they drop maybe claymores, proximity mines, and maybe basically all game. You pick that up and you basically want to just set it down inside the loot, or the loot that you leave, because a lot of the times when a team responds back from gulag, they first thought is, did that team leave that I just killed us? And they say, okay. They drop down on the loot and just try to grab what they can and get the cover. But if you place a proximity mine down or a claymore down, you will know, because you get a hit marker and you know to rotate back and kill that same team again. So if you're playing squads or trios, you got 3 kills or 4 kills that you can get from jump. And then when they come back from gulag, that's maybe another 1, 2, or 3 or 4 kills if they all win gulag. So that whole confrontation with one team gave you 8 kills. Literally, that's a lot of kills. And you can easily wipe them the second time because they don't have armor plates, and you picked up maybe the better guns out the group if neither one of y'all have gotten y'all loadout yet. And I always told myself that one day during the game, I'm going to place a random claymore down, place a random bouncy Betty or proximity mine down, And before you know it, I'm going to rotate all the way back to where we first landed at, and that claymore about proximity mine is going to win us the game. I don't know how, it hasn't happened yet, but I stand on it. And I promise you it's going to happen, because it's too often that it goes off, and it's just saved my squad life, because I know exactly where they were coming from. Because once you put ghosts on in this game, you can't be found. Pretty much, unless you're being heard. And during a heated gunfight, a lot of times footsteps aren't heard. So that claymore bouncer Betty going off, it really gives you a heads up. And it allows you to rotate faster to another team once you have known where they are at, because of the bouncer Betty or claymore. So yeah, that's pretty much it for number 2. Just throw down random proximity mines and claymore. It's pretty simple. Okay, so coming in at number 4 is a tip that's more tactical, and it's basically you want to focus more on UAVs than self-revives to start the game. Okay, let me explain. When you first start the game, everybody got 2 things on their mind. Let's get $10,000 to get the loadout drop. I'm trying to get 4,500 as fast as I can to get a self-revive, and that's kind of what you want to shy away from, because self-revives helpful when somebody kills you from a distance, because of the simple fact that you can maybe slide behind cover and self-revive yourself. And that's when you get into a more heated gunfights. But when you're starting the game off and you have that stock M4 or stock Uzi, and you're trying to get to that loadout drop, or after you get the loadout drop, you want to get a UAV first, because you want to pinpoint all the teams that's around you, and you want to get the heads up on them by using a UAV, and you can kill them, wipe them, and grab their money. Then maybe down the line buy self-revives. And on top of that, the loadout drops within maybe 8 minutes, maybe 7 to 6 minutes into the match. So you can also wait on the loadout. Always buy the UAVs, because you don't want another team to catch you lacking, and then now you're in the gulag already, because you don't want to use your gulag too early, because sometimes you do die by some stuff that is pretty fluke or cheap. So you don't want to use your gulag too early in the game. So yeah, focus more on UAVs, because nobody is running ghosts in the beginning of the game. So cutting that one UAV on can really save you. There's been times where my team has been looting and we cut the UAV on, and it's 3 other squads that's in landed, but nobody has confronted each other, so we don't hear any shots. So everybody is basically staying camped up in their own little corner. But the UAV will show all of that, so you can run up on the teams because you have the heads up. But you can't do that because you got a self-revive. I mean, what good is a self-revive if somebody's sitting in the corner? Because all they're going to do is knock you and full kill you. And basically, that's $4,500 that's in the hole, because it had no use that early in the game anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much for tip number 4. Just focus more on UAVs and self-revives. Be more of a team player. Coming in at number 5 is pretty basic, but everybody's been using it lately. It's always grab the trophy system for cars. And because it allows you to move around the map very, very fast. And the amount of times that we put the trophy system on top of the car and we'll move it through the map to go to another team, the amount of RPGs and C4s that fly is crazy. Cars aren't as overpowered as they seem as it was in week 1, when everybody was getting ran over. Getting on the car right now, or a helicopter, is almost a death sentence right now. So yeah, you want to basically combine, like a few tips ago, combine the UAV with the fast transportation with the trophy system. Now, you don't have to grab the trophy system early on in the match. You might want to pick up a dead silence to maybe keep yourself alive. But toward the middle of the match, when you didn't have your loadout and you're pretty kitted up, and your squad mates, always pick up that trophy system. It cuts down on the C4 spam, it cuts down on the RPG spam, it cuts down on the Simtex frag, it cuts down on all of that. You don't even have to be in the car and it help you out. If you're in a heated gunfight, always throw the trophy system down, because a lot of players only think, oh, I'm going to pull out my RPG and I'm going to shoot 6 rounds into that house until they all die. I know they're patching the RPG soon, but for right now, that is a great tip to help you get a high kill gameplay, because when they're shooting the RPG, it's pointless, because the trophy system is going to destroy it. And while they're reloading, you just killing them and knocking them, and they're wondering, why is my RPG not getting through the window? After a while, they're going to figure it out, but it's too late. You and your squad mates or yourself wipe the team and continue moving forward, So always, that's it for number 5, but always pick up a trophy system at some point in the game, preferably in the middle, to keep yourself alive, because I promise you, it'll pay off. So coming in at number 6 is using the bounty. You want to use the bounty for offense as well as defense. On the offense side is, you always want to pick up the bounty to start the game, is because you want to pinpoint at least one team that's in a certain area, so you know where they're coming from or if they try to attack you. And if it's a lot of teams fighting, you can actually pinpoint the bounty's team that's fighting another team. So that's 2 teams and either the general direction of where they are. And maybe you can focus on another team that's close to you. This is this is if you're in the case that you land hot or the area is all of a sudden just became so hot and there's a lot of people fighting. This is kind of how you kind of cut down and minimize and fight a team one by one from a basic player standpoint. So, but at the same time, if you land, let's say you land the beginning of the game and you pick up the bounty, and you're like, okay, maybe there's a bounty team over there, and maybe they're camped up. You wouldn't know that that team was there if you didn't have maybe a UAV or a bounty, and it kind of helps you approach the situation different because you don't want to run up to the building and they peek out the window and mow you down because that is super aggravating. It's always good to have a heads up. And using a bounty for defense, maybe in late game when the circle is smaller, and you pick up the bounty, and there's maybe like 6 teams left. When you pick up the bounty, it takes our team off your radar because you say, okay, there's a team sitting over there in that building. Let's shy away from it. Let's rotate this way so they don't peek the window or start sniping at us. And if they're fighting another team, like I said before, it's showing 2 teams, as basically 2 teams fighting, so you know exactly where they are. And if somehow that bounty dies, man, that's free money at that point. And of course, people may be a little intimidated to pick the bounty because they said, well, I don't want them to know that their threat level got high because we got too close. But that's also a good thing because of the simple fact that it might make them back off, or at the same time, it helps you know where they are. But sometimes you pick up the bounty and there's no other way around it. It's you against them for the win or you against them to get to the ring. But that just happens sometimes. But at the same time, the bounty can really save your life because it basically puts a delayed UAV on top of them. And picking up the bounty late game is fine anyway because everybody's threat level is high. You just don't know it because everybody is cooped up together. We're just trying to figure out which team is gonna fight which and who's gonna die. Because being the team that gets third party is not fun. You'd rather be the team that third party. Always. You want to be the team that always third parties. Or you want to be the team that wipes the team fast enough so you don't get third party. You never want to be in between because you're gonna get split. And that's more of an advanced player tip. But for a basic player standpoint, you want to either A, kill a team as fast enough, or B, be the team that third parties. Always, always, always. Because late game, everything is too close. This RPG spam, the C4 spam, it's ridiculous right now. So always use the bounty for offense as well as defense in certain situations that help you get those high kill gameplays. And that's pretty much it for this tip. So coming in at tip number 7 is, that's pretty basic and it's been mentioned before, is that whenever you kill somebody, of course you don't want to full kill them. But at the same time, the counter argument to that is, well, I want to kill because I knocked him, and I want to kill now because I don't want him to get revived, and that's fine. So whenever you kill somebody, what you want to do is you want to put a few extra shots into their body when they're down, but then you want to stop and focus on the next player because you don't want the next player to come shoot at you and knock you. And when you do this, you basically cutting down his bleed out time, and it puts pressure on his teammates because I promise you on the other side he's screaming in his to mic and saying, pick me up, I'm down, don't let me die, I don't have gulag, or I don't want to go to the gulag. And after a while the teammates get aggravated enough or they're pressured enough so they actually run for the revive. And when they run for the revive, you knock that player too. So at this point in the fight, you have 2 players knocked, and you're gonna have one that's fully eliminated in within a matter of seconds. And sometimes it's a domino effect because now the third player on the team is saying, hey, why y'all getting knocked? And now they're screaming to their mic saying, oh, I'm down, we're down. And then he runs over, and before you know it, you kill him, and now you have a full, easy squad wipe. And your teammates is, gassing you up, hey, good job. But really and truly, they beat themselves. They was too eager for the revive instead of letting their teammate die. Sometimes in a point, and it sucks, your teammate just have to die for the betterment of the squad. That's just how it is sometimes to get brought back. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Whenever you shoot at somebody, put an extra few shots into them, but don't fully kill them sometimes, unless it's just a one-on-one fight. If you hear a lot of footsteps and a lot going around, it's probably better you just knock them and move to the next person. Because as you get to more advanced squads, knocking a player and full killing them is going to do nothing but make sure you go down too, because you empty the clip into them, but now the next person around the corner just drop shot at you or jump shot at you. But for a basic player standpoint, knock them, put a few shots into them, and wait for the next person because they're gonna go for the revive. This is when you throw your C4. This is when you shoot your RPG to make sure you knock at least 2, 3 or more. And before you know it, it'll be a squad wipe. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tip. Okay, so the last tip for you guys, and it's probably my favorite, is using flanking routes. Guys, look, Warzone is an open map. It is not an old Western standoff. It is okay to move around and use flanking routes to kill another team. I cannot, it really is wild to me that the amount of teams that will really fight heads up and don't move for so long, and then they complain about the third party. Like, there's so much you can do in Warzone, so many different ways to climb and get to different high points and buildings. To like, it is easy to flank. Like, all it takes is one wrong person not to catch you on a heartbeat, or if you're running ghosts and you didn't flank the entire team, and then you put the pressure on them. You do not want to fight heads up for too long. Now, if you clearly better than the other team and your aim and shot is better and you wipe them, that is fine. But remember, the longer you fight another team is the more time you give another team to come third party, and that's when it really gets hectic. So yeah, if you feel like a team is kind of putting too much pressure on you, or they feel like they're pretty good and they get a lot of good shots on you, just flank around. I'll just flank around. I promise you, one person flanking can change the entire fight. It's been times where two of my teammates have knocked and I'll flank around. Before you know it, three of their teammates have knocked, and then our team survived and theirs is fully wiped, and they're trying to figure out what happened because they're standing still. You don't want to stand still too long, because I promise you there's somebody sitting on top of a building with HDR AX50 finna take your head off. That is a promise. It has happened too many times. But yeah, don't ever be afraid. I mean, you might be a little intimidated if they say, "Oh, I don't want to flank over there by myself." But that's a part of getting these high kill games. It helps you get better. And this tip is pretty basic. You basically you can crouch walk if you want to. If you don't want to be heard too much, you can crouch walk. Just get to a different position. Change your scenery a little bit. Make the enemy have to reevaluate how they're shooting and how they're fighting you. Because this can help you survive longer. This can help you get towards your 20 bomb that you always been looking for. Maybe your 15 bomb. Or maybe if you're trying to crack 10 kills. But yeah, that's it pretty much for all the tips. I really hope some of these tips help some of the basic players out there that really want to get better, because these tips really aren't that advanced. These can be stuff you can improve on over the course of maybe a few games, over the course of a day, or however long it takes. So yeah, I hope that guys helps you out. If anything helps you, make sure you leave a like, sub, if you want to or not, or if you've been watching. Or comment the amount of kills you have. Don't be shy, and comment the goal that you're actually trying to achieve. So mine is basically 25. I'm trying to crack that first 30 bomb. It's been a lot that's been happening to keep me from cracking that 30 bomb. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.